What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Sacred Cards. Today I'm coming at you with a Nouvelle combo tutorial. This has been requested a few times because a lot of people are unsure on how this deck works, and I'd like to showcase how effective the Nouvelle strategy can be. I'm using the same deck as I profiled yesterday, so definitely check that out if you haven't already. I'll leave a link in the description for you. To be honest, this deck can require some good piloting as you want to be good at timing your effects, but it can also gain you some really good card advantage. The deck has a lot of gas being able to search the cards you need and get a lot of resources from the deck while overwhelming the opponent. The nice thing about this deck is that it specializes on tributing the opponent's attack position monsters, which can be very effective as a lot of cards can't be targeted or sometimes they have protection against destruction. So this strategy works very well in your favor. As I mentioned before, there aren't too many linear combos with the deck, as it's one that plays your hand to the best of its abilities, but I do have one here that showcases how the deck functions and some of the cool things you can do. So without further ado, let's get right into it here. This is my favorite go-to combo, which requires Concours de Cuisine and either Bouillabaisse or Recette de Poisson, or any other card that allows you to see either of these two. For the purposes here, let's just say you open a copy of Concours de Cuisine and Recette de Poisson. For fun, let's say we want to feel out our opponent and activate pre-preparation of rites. They say no way and activate Ash Blossom. We say no problem. Welcome to Nouvelle Restaurant. We're going to start things off here by activating our copy of Concours de Cuisine, which is going to special summon our copy of Poissonnaire to our side of the field and one copy of Pâtissier from our extra deck to our opponent's side of the field in attack position. Poissonnaire is going to search your copy of Bouillabaisse from the deck, a level 1 or recipe card. We are then going to activate our fish recipe spell card by tributing our copy of Poissonnaire to summon Bouillabaisse. Poissonnaire, because it was tributed, was going to go to the Pendulum Zone. And because we used fish recipe to summon our copy of Bouillabaisse, we can add ourselves a copy of meat recipe from our deck to our hand. Fish recipe goes to the graveyard there. And Bouillabaisse on summon is going to allow us to excavate the top 5 cards of the deck and add a Nouvelle card to our hand. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we get to add Foie Glacia de Nuvelle to our hand. It doesn't really matter which card you get, but it does get you, does help you dig deep into the deck for some cards that you might want. So from there, what we can do is activate, use Poissonnaire's effect to target our Bouillabaisse, which will trigger its effect, and that will tribute itself and an attack position monster on the field to special summon a level 2 or 3 Nouvelle ritual monster from our hand or deck, getting us a copy of Quilty. Poissonnaire will special summon itself. We want her in attack position for this. Quilty on summon will allow us to draw a card from the deck. So we get another card to our hand here. And we're then going to activate Concours de Cuisine, effect Engrave, banish itself to target our copy of Poilty de Nuvelle. This will trigger its effect to tribute a Nouvelle monster and an attack position monster on the field to special summon us a level 4 or 5 Nouvelle monster from the deck. And this is going to get us our copy of Balaminière de Nuvelle. On summon, its effect will activate to search any Nouvelle or recipe card from our deck. And that's going to get us a copy of Nouvelle Restaurant. When Restaurant is activated, we can search our deck for a recipe card. It's here that I like to search a copy of Chef's Special Recipe, which is an Omni Negate counter trap. So we're going to add that to our hand here. And since we have a ritual monster in our hand that we don't need right now, We can use Restaurant's other effect to place it on the bottom of the deck to draw a card. So we're going to take our copy of Foie Glacier here that we drew off the excavated Cards by Bouillabaisse, and we get to draw another card. Now, take note that we haven't even normal summoned yet, so we could go ahead with Diviner and press even further if we wanted to, but I'm going to save this for follow-up on our next turn. So then what we can do is we're going to tidy up my hand here. We're going to set our traps. I'm just kind of leaving the hand open so you guys can kind of follow along and see what I'm doing. Now, what we're left with is, well, I guess we set our traps, proceed to end phase, and then we can then activate Restaurant's final effect, which will allow us to recycle 2 cards in the grave, including a recipe card, place them at the bottom of the deck to draw a card. So we're going to recycle back our copy of Bouillabaisse and a copy of Recette de Poisson. We're going to place those at the bottom of the deck and draw another card from our deck. So now what we're left with is a massive hand for follow-up on the next turn. We were able to ideally draw into multiple hand traps for disruption. We have our Chef's Special Recipe, which can negate pretty much anything. We have Staff Recipe here, just for an extender. Balaminiere has a quick effect to tribute an attack position monster on the field to summon out our boss monster on the following turn. So just to give you a better idea, I will show you how we can stop the opponent on their turn. So let's say our opponent draws for their turn. They have a really nice hand. They go ahead and activate their starter spell card. So they go ahead and activate random spell. And what we can do is activate our Chef's Special Recipe to go ahead and negate it. So then your opponent says no problem and proceeds with the normal summon. They go ahead and search and start making their board. So boom, boom, making a board here. Lots of cards there, really good deck. So at some point, you need to make a choice on when to activate Balaminiere. So we are going to add and activate Balaminier's quick effect. We're going to tribute an attack position monster they control. And then what that's going to allow us to do is special summon our boss monster, Balgril. You can then negate the effects of all monsters they control. And since this card was special summoned by the effect of a Nouvelle monster, we can tribute as many monsters they control as possible. So your opponent is blown away, but they play a really strong deck and say no problem and continue rebuilding their board. At some point, we make the call to say enough is enough, activating the quick effect of Balgril to tribute an attack position monster on their field. And that is going to allow us to summon our copy of Hungry Burger from the hand or deck, which now that Hungry Burger is summoned, we can trigger the effect of our Chef's Special Recipe trap card to once again tribute as many monsters your opponent controls as possible. So boom, wiping their board clean once again. And now our opponent is overwhelmed by the effect or by the power of Nouvelle. They have no choice but to scoop or end their turn. So that is it for the combo tutorial. I really hope you enjoyed it. If there's anything you like or don't like, please leave me a comment telling me what you think. Be sure to like the video if you did and subscribe for more content. Thank you for your support. I'm SacredCards. See you all in the next one.